Welcome to Real Design with Vanhorn, the podcast where we delve into the art of transforming houses into homes and explore the fusion of real estate and interior design. I'm your host, Heather Beyer, founder of Vanhorn, coming to you from the heart of North Atlanta. Join us as we journey through the intricacies of market trends, design inspirations, and transformation power of color and space. Each episode will feature insights from industry experts, heartfelt stories from our clients, and practical tips to help you navigate the complex world of real estate and design. Whether you're embarking on an adventure of buying a new home, looking to sell, or simply dreaming of a space that better reflects your personal style, Real Design with Vanhorn is your guide to making those dreams a reality. So tune in, get inspired, and discover how you can transform any house into a home that truly resonates with you. Welcome to our community of creators, dreamers, and home lovers. Welcome to Real Design, Episode 1 here at Vanhorn. We are going to talk about the fusion of real estate, design, and home furnishings today, as well as talk about different ways that you can make your house into a home. And with me today is the amazing Alex.
Hi.
And Alex is in the market for her first home purchase, so I thought she would be an ideal person to sit down and talk to a little bit about the processes that we have here at Vanhorn and how those benefit buyers from all different ranges, whether it's your first-time home buyer, whether it's your mature buyer that's downsizing into their new space, whether it is a young family that's upsizing into a new space, and we're going to go over a little bit of what we do and how it could benefit you. All right, so Alex, thank you so much. Alex works with us, by the way, here in Vanhorn. She is an amazing photographer.
Thanks,
and she.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. She, I don't think I'm wrong when I say you photograph mainly women, right?
Yeah, but mostly women, but now it's spread out.
So
Last time
she does amazing work. Beautiful. I fell in love with her work as soon as I saw it, and I was like, we must have you here at Vanhorn. But I digress. Okay, so you are a first-time home buyer.
Correct. Terrifying.
And it is terrifying. And do you have any things like, to you, our process at Vanhorn, I started 6 years ago because continually I found that our clients needed things after they purchased a house. 80% of people, when they purchase a new home, end up buying new products for it within 1 year. So my clients, just because I've been in the area for 25 years, and they said, where can we get this? Where can we get that? And I continually help them find things, help them with renovation. So 6 years ago, I decided to bring the two together. And that's how we started Vanhorn. And now we have 9,000 square feet full of things. And how that can benefit you is curious. Do you have new things to go in your house? Do you have things that you want, that you're dreaming of? Like, where are you in your process?
I do have things that I want for my new house, but I like that the process. Are we talking about all the things, all the processes, or you just want to do like one specific thing with this? Because I want to like spit out all the things that you do, but I just want you to like hone me in. What do you want me to exactly talk about right now? Like all the things that I didn't even know I wanted that's in the store right now.
The process of how it's hard, real estate's scary. Doing the first time home purchasing, how it's scary.
Oh,
and
terrifying.
Then,
okay,
the cost associated with it, but like knowing that you can add things in with our process and it's going to be easier than breaking the bank and blah, 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 blah.
No, I ask because like your company's awesome. It's like multifaceted. So there's so many different things that have been so helpful to me, like you being my agent and then like walking me through the steps of like how to actually go through purchasing a home and all the things that you have to do before you even begin to look for purchasing a home, which is
well, and that's helpful too, because there are a lot of things to do before you, no matter what stage of the game you're in with real estate. Alex is a first-time home buyer, so we had to get everything with her loan. We wanted to do the footwork beforehand to know exactly how much you could afford, because we didn't want to put the cart before the horse, because that would be spinning your wheels, and that would be creating really unrealistic expectations for her and what she could afford.
Yep.
And just like anybody else at whatever price point it is, we have to make sure that we are transparent and we know what we're looking for. So we've done all that, and it's taken us, a little bit to get all that done. But now
it's the fun part.
Now comes.
I didn't even know all the things that I actually wanted to have in my place until I walked into your beautiful space. But yeah, absolutely in the market. I almost just want everything fresh, like new start.
I get it.
New beginning, like fresh. And I love that you remind me again, what was the percent?
80%. 80% of people that purchase a new home buy new things for that home within 1 year.
Yeah, it's wild, but it's awesome.
Well, because you get in there and you're like, I want this. But I think that for you, so we've kind of laid the groundwork on what you needed to do in order to find out what kind of homes we should be looking at. So now we have a price point range that we can go look at properties for that are going to fit your wants and needs. I know, right? This is kind of
and
the
then I
exciting
can find
part.
things that fit into what.
Right. So knowing that okay, so let's see, do you have anything that you want to take with you?
I have some things from like my family, like for my like grandparents or whatnot, like some older pieces. But for the most part, no, I really want it to be fresh. Like I have like old like chests and like just really pretty things that would go really well with like other pieces, like newer pieces.
Right. So the great part is
pieces.
Right. And we're just going to commingle all of those because you can do that. So the amazing part is while we're out looking for properties, once we identify the property that we want to make an offer on, and if our offer is accepted and we get through all the little contingency phases, us here at Vanhorn, we've already seen this property. We know what the layout is. We know what measurements we have. We know what she wants to concentrate on. So there's, it's a simplicity factor. We're going to know when, we purchase this, exactly what you want. And by the time we've gone through the process of helping you look at houses and the financing and all the negotiations, we've formed a relationship. We know each other pretty well. I know your personality at this point, even if I didn't know you here at work. By that point in the game with a client, we know a lot of the people that we've heard you talk about things that you like. Clients have probably sent us 100 Instagram photos at this point with, this is a house that I like. This is a living room that I like. So it is a very seamless process because you don't have to regurgitate all of those wants and needs to somebody else again. We already know those. So once we do, once we move in, then we can start the process of, okay, here's how we want to furnish it. And then I think that's where the super fun part comes in finally, because it's stressful. Buying a new property, selling a property, all of it is stressful. There's no way about it. If anybody tells you it's not stressful, don't believe them because it is stressful. It's so stressful. But then the next part is fun because I feel like, you get a little bit beat up and a little worn down during the buying and selling process. It's expensive. Every time you turn around, I feel like there's probably an expense that you maybe weren't anticipating. And you're like, oh, are we sure? Yeah, we're sure. We have to pay that. So once you get in there, I think that everybody is very conscious of their budget and where they want to be at. And the great part is at Vanhorn, since you've worked with us on your purchase and your sell, we're going to be able to help you out at design pricing.
That's what I was asking too. What's the percentage that I received then off from the furniture?
So it's
since like if someone new was coming in, they didn't know like what's like a one-stop shop, and you like can come in, like hire an agent, help with the closing, and then you come in and you help like redo the entire house and like have it completely decorated and beautiful, brand new, fresh. Like what's the percent off? And then isn't it like a life?
So there,
remember?
No, it's
tell me.
Yeah,
Am I wrong? I completely did I space out completely?
No,
Okay.
you didn't space out completely. So we do have like, depending on the size property you have that you purchase, somebody that purchases, a 1,600 square foot townhome or condominium is probably going to have a different budget for someone who's purchased a 10,000 square foot suburban property.
I'm not
right?
10,000 square foot,
and that's okay.
Person.
So you're probably going to have two different price points. So, and honestly, we allocate how much furniture that we do at designer pricing by the property size that you purchase.
Okay.
We want to be able to get everything in the house for you. We want to be able to do your outdoors. If you have a pool area, we want to be able to do your pool area.
Okay.
So there's plenty of flexibility in there for getting the entire property finished and show ready exactly the way you want it.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Alec.
Very good. So, with that being said, what area of a house would you concentrate on first?
Probably the living room when you first come in, for sure. First impression.
Fantastic.
Everything else I can hide.
And I think too, one question that we had was, when we buy or sell with you, is there a timeline, right? Because I'm a big believer in getting into a space and living in it. I like clients to get in the space. I like them to know what the lighting feels like in the day. What does the lighting feel like in the mornings? I think that's a really good indicator if you're going to choose paint colors, what we want to do with the paint, how it looks in the morning, how it looks in the evening. So when you work with us, you do not have to immediately buy furniture at all. If you're a type of person that wants to get in the space and live in the space and then figure out what you want, call us 3 months later, 6 months later. We're going to be here. And then we have a folder with all of our clients. We keep basically your dream checklist in it of things that you've sent us, because I haven't, worked with one person before that doesn't send us things that they want to put in their property. And then whenever you're ready to do that, whenever you're ready to start furnishing, then we'll be ready. And on, the flip side of the coin, if you're ready the day we close and you know exactly what you want, fantastic. We'll have it moving in whenever we leave the closing table. And another question is, you see things in the store here and you see things online. This might not be everybody's taste. And
it's not mine all the way. There's some things I'm like, I love it, but I like more of like dark.
Yeah, fantastic.
Dark, moody.
Right. And I can't put everything.
Right here.
I
love that too, but in my house, I like to have like a cocoon.
Absolutely.
And then I come out as a butterfly.
We'll cocoon it up and you can become a butterfly. I love it. But if there's not something here that you see or on our website, all it takes is just texting us a picture. Our portfolio, our list of manufacturers and vendors that we work with is substantial.
And Heather will tell you if it doesn't look good too.
Well,
I sent you a ton of stuff. No, I mean, it's sometimes, I don't know. I need sometimes someone telling me like, Alex, it's not a good idea to do that.
I always give my opinion, and then I say, but that's
suggestions.
And I always say, but that's my humble opinion, and it doesn't mean anything, right? So just because I don't, it's not my taste doesn't mean it might not be somebody else's.
But they're good suggestions.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, and
we'd like to think so.
Like
and we listen to what our clients want. So hopefully, like I said, by the time we've worked with them through the process of buying and looking at houses, we have a pretty good gauge on what our clients like. That's the beauty of it, because you're not getting to know somebody. You're not hiring a designer and then the designer having to get to know you and how you work. We already know how you work. We've been through a very emotional, stressful process with you already. So we already know all those things, and we probably know your hot buttons as well. And that's important. And it's a trust, right? It's a trust that you build with somebody that you're working with. And one thing that that really was important to me and why I started this was that I felt like we were doing great. I left the closing table, but then there were still so many needs from my clients that weren't met. And we work with so many families. Both families work, both parents work. They're out of the household a lot. And on the weekends, when they'd rather be doing things with their family or kids' sports and just, girl time or golf and guys time, all that stuff, they don't want to spend it running about town, looking for the best prices on things and making sure, that this and this and this goes together
just
well.
Like clicking.
Yeah. And it's really a way for us trying to make the process better of real estate. We tried. And when I saw the need, when I saw people kept calling and kept needing help, I'm like, this is an area where we can improve on, the real estate industry can improve on. And it didn't happen once, it happened again and again and again. And I'm like, okay, this isn't coincidence. This is something that's very real. People want their houses to look a certain way. They want it to be done, they want it to be done in an easy manner that is not draining to them financially, because they just have made
flow.
Yeah, it's just an easy flow,
a good start and a finish line.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted. And if I didn't keep getting the same questions over and over and over again and the same requests for help, I wouldn't have been so passionate about it. But I did. It was the same thing. I mean, people needing help with and it's not just furniture. People need help with their paint colors. We have a certified colorist here in Vanhorn. So if you're thinking about changing paint colors, paint's scary. Paint is terrifying. No lie. If you pick something, it might go pink in, the light. It might go, your taupes might pull purple in the wrong light. And it's a costly decision that will make you sick to your stomach.
You just met. They just redid they painted their main floor, and it had a blue tint to like all the paint, and it was white or like eggshell or something like that, but it was all with a tint of blue. And it was a nightmare. But now they have blue walls everywhere.
Well, and that's the really, really scary part.
And there's like a drop of like dye in there, and then like the whole thing.
No, it just has an undertone, and it gives blue in certain lights.
Like, I mirror you as you move. I start to.
I know, right? Sorry.
No, I know. I just copy her. I'm like,
but But the paint part of it, I think, is a really good base to build off of. Whenever people purchase homes, we change a lot of paints quite often. And I think it's very, very beneficial. I think that it is a smart financial decision to have someone who does specialize in color. It is not me. I am smart enough to know that I like to delegate things to people who have an expert level. And I do consider paint and paint decisions a decision that needs to be at an expert level. So that's why we have an on-staff colorist to work with our clients about interior paint choices, exterior paint choices, if they're going to go as far to change out shutters or doors. And then the furniture part, we can scoot in. But
Do you have like fabric?
Oh, we have all that.
Tons of fabric.
We have all that. So yeah, people oftentimes when we're finding things for new homes, they need custom items. We do still offer designer pricing even on our custom things, because a lot of what we do are custom sofas, custom ottomans, headboards. We love slip-covered sofas because my house particularly is full of savages, and they're my most amazing savages who I adore, but they're messy. We have 2 dogs, and we have kids over all the time, and so we need things that are and we need things that are conducive to messes and being able to clean up messes. So many of our clients do slip covers. So I always say, when your next season, when you're out of the season of little ones and messy hands, then, you can change out your slip cover.
Yeah, that's one thing on my list are the slip-covered couches with my dog.
With the dogs,
I have
right?
2
So
German Shepherds, and they are...
Oh, my golden retrievers, they don't know that. I'm always like, they're not going to get on the sofa. Every night on the sofa.
Every night, on my bed, everywhere.
Every night. I can't. I'm like,
I feel bad.
I feel bad. They want to cuddle. Let's cuddle. Good news is that we'll just get you a new slip cover for your sofa. So no matter, I think the slip covers too take you through several different seasons of life, whether it's the season of kids or dogs or pets or just life in general. But I digress. So we were talking about the paint and how we have color professionals to help people with the paint color. And then moving into the furniture aspect of it, that there's lots of custom items. So if you don't see a material here on the floor, if you come in and you're like, none of this really makes me, get excited, there's about 7,000 pieces of fabric in the back that we can choose from.
It's a ton.
It's a lot. But it's a lot. And we do everything from outdoor. So if you have a pool area, we have all the outdoor furniture you could ever possibly want as well.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. And something else that I believe in is lighting. We do lots of lighting here. I've not ever met anybody who purchased a home, no, maybe 1 or 2, I take that back, that didn't change out some form of lighting in their house, whether it be your bathroom sconces, whether it be, your chandeliers in your family room, or wanting to pull out, fans and put in, something adorable. And lighting is tough too. And it is nice to have, a second, third, fourth opinion from people that you trust, who have done this a lot, and get their thoughts on it too.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think too, people know what they want. I feel like I have so many people who just bring in a piece of paper and they're like, this is what we want. This is what, this is our style. Give me 5 examples. And they know what they want. But there's always a bit of insecurity. Pulling it all together, spending that amount of money, because it's
quite the investment.
It's quite the investment. So I think that, again, having another set of eyes and a second set of eyes and a third set of eyes to look at what you want and then help you bring it together is amazing.
Yeah.
I think that it's good for, we always say, we don't want anybody going to bed at night thinking, oh my gosh, did I make a mistake with this? Did I pick the wrong paint color? Because I don't want to repaint because it cost me, however many thousands of dollars to do that. So, it seems to flow together, and it gives everybody a bit more peace of mind while giving them a really good deal on the things that they want.
Yeah, I love it. And I also think it's kind of a little bit of a surprise too. Like when you and your team are looking for different things to put into the different house. I'm like, oh my gosh, where did you find this?
I know, it's kind of a madhouse. That's my favorite part. It's when we're all sitting around at the table and we're like, okay, let's do a bedroom, and everybody just comes up and we're all blah 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 blah. And we do go to every mart. When I started this process, like I said, 6 years ago, I started going to every mart across the country trying to find the manufacturers and the vendors that I wanted to work with, that I thought was representative of what Vanhorn wanted to be. And it's so nice because we continue to go to that across the country. We continue to source new things, different things, and we're really good. I always say that like our superpower is if you come in with your phone, and I'll say this 100 times because I feel like everybody lives on their phone, and you know, screenshot something that you love and you're like, Heather, I love this. This is what I want. Right. Between, you know, the four of us that are always looking at things, we know it immediately.
Yeah,
like we just know it. Yeah. We just know it. I mean, this one girl came in, I never met him before, and she was like, I saw this coffee table on TikTok, and we were all like, we all knew immediately, because that's what we do day in, day out. We look at real estate, we look at furniture, we look at lighting. That's what we do. We're up at midnight texting each other, and we're like,
true.
This is true. But it's nice, and it's nice because, again, this goes back to us trying our best to improve the real estate process and make it easier for clients, make it easier for them to feel confident about their choices, make it easier for them to feel like they're not wasting so much time spinning their wheels, and get to that finished product that they want to get to without having to run about town. Make sure you're finding the right prices, questioning yourself on whether those decisions are correct or not, and knowing that when you get it all together, that it's been pulled together by a team of professionals that already know your wants and needs, that know, you know, your home and know how you work, and making that all come together.
It's awesome. And I like to, like, all of your clients, they all become fam. Like, everyone's fam.
We don't have very many people that we work with that we wouldn't come in and break bread. Like, people come in here and just sit down and like, hey, I want to have lunch.
Well,
and I'm like,
I started to come here all the time.
Yeah.
And now I live here.
She actually sleeps in the back.
I do.
No, she doesn't.
I wish.
But no, it is good. And I think, you know, when you go through processes with, it's like I said, buying and selling is hard. I'm never going to tell people that it's not, and it's stressful. So when you've got somebody there or a team there that can take some of that stress away from you, it's amazing, and it feels good, and it makes your load a little bit lighter. And that's what we want to do, because families, husbands, wives, whatever, we have a lot of stuff going on, and it's hard. It's hard to get it all pulled together in a, you know, fast way that you want to do it in a, you know, it's hard.
Yeah. And you make it really easy.
We try to make it easy. We make it try it. And some people, and this is what I love, some people have designers that they worked with forever, and I love that, and I respect it. So if you're like, Heather, we want to take advantage of, you know, the designer pricing on things that you offer, but I have a designer that I've worked with, fantastic. Bring them in. Like, we want to meet them. I probably want to hire them,
You're
honestly.
not a gatekeeper.
No, I am not a gatekeeper.
Not a gatekeeper.
We believe in sharing information and making new friends, and, you know,
More the merrier.
the more the merrier. We really have that attitude. So bring them in. We would absolutely love them. Bring your designers in. And if you want us to have nothing to do with the furniture you purchase, fantastic. Send us a list and we'll get you pricing. Like, it doesn't have to be us designing your
Doesn't
space.
have to be like white glove or like hands-on either.
No.
You can just like send it to the designer as well.
Absolutely.
Correct? Okay. So
Absolutely.
either an individual can come in and be like, hey, I need all the help, or a designer can come in and be like, hey, will you help me to source these and then give them to me, and like, I want you out of it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Our feelings are never hurt. Honestly, for us, at the end of the day, we want to check off the box that says our client walked away happy from this, and, you know, feel amazing about their new property. That's it.
Yep.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game, and that's why we continue to do what we do. And so far, it's been kind of amazing. It's great.
I also like how you've been helping other agents to sell the homes that they have listed with the furniture that you have in their house.
Well, and
we haven't talked about that very much.
Well, and it's funny because recently, the last few years, especially where we are, and we are licensed to do business in Georgia and Florida, but in the area of Georgia that we've been in, that I live in, it's been so insane here. Real estate's been insane. Like, so it's not even as though people had to stage it, but if we're listing a property, we want it to look a certain way. Even if the market is still absolutely nuts, we want those pictures because the whole world is digital, right? People shop for homes online. That's how they're going to see it online 1,000 times before they ever see it in person. And we want that house to present a certain way because it's going to help the next people that are looking to buy your home see what they want to see in that house. So we do, our clients that list with us, we do offer a complimentary staging to them because I believe in it that much.
Yeah, I love it. It's wild how fast yours do sell.
It's nuts. It's nuts. But it's a good thing. And again, we are preconditioned to want to have an HGTV moment whenever we walk through the door somewhere, right? Because
a good HGTV.
Yeah, a good HGTV moment. Because it's a very small percentage of people that want to walk into a space and think, okay, I'm going to change everything. I want to gut this. I want to change all the paint colors. There is a small portion of people like myself that want to do that. But for most people, they want to walk through the door. They want it to be perfect. They want it to be beautiful. And I do think that, because it's
touch anything.
Yeah, because it's easy. You just want to walk in and know what it could be instead of looking past people,
I also know I'm never going to do it. Like,
yeah,
that's
true.
In a box. Like, maybe I'll start it, but then I'll start like 8 other projects because I'm too ADD. And then there will be like 8 projects all in the place. And then I'm redoing this furniture piece that I'll never redo. And
right.
So I like that it's like done.
My favorite thing is whenever we'll go look at houses, like husbands are always like, yes, we're totally going to redo the kitchen. And the wife's over there like, he's never going to let me redo the kitchen. Just let's go look at stuff with the kitchen when it's done. And it's true, right? I mean, it's not, I don't think it's ever intentional.
I'm like that. I'm never going to do it.
Right. And I don't think it's ever intentional. But then when you get into it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot.
Hate this.
So a lot of people just want to have those things, done already. And then again, going back to the furniture of it, they want to see what it can look like and want to have it done in an easy and quick way because things just come up. Life happens, work happens, things happen, and it doesn't get done. So if you've got somebody who's already got it teed up for you, like, hi, we've closed. Here's options A, B, and C. Here's the price points of A, B, and C. What do you like?
Great.
Ding. Exactly. And that's honestly, and that's, I like that. I like that. But that's how it goes. And it can be, it can be that easy. And that's the way it's going to be with any designer. Usually whenever you work with them, they're going to give you multiple options for things. But this just kind of saves you the time and the money of finding the designer, interviewing the designers, trying to convey your vision to the designer, and trying to stay in budget with that designer as far as their hours go and their project fees go. It takes all that away, but still gives you all the benefits.
Where is it? Where's the logistics of it? Like, you handle it all, which I think that's cool.
It's very nice. Well,
I'm like, did I get that? Did I not get that? Is that in the mail? Is it on its way? Or am I going to have to put this together?
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Then I won't put it together.
Then it'll be in the box like 3 years later.
Yes.
But the beauty of it is here at Vanhorn, when I looked at spaces to open this studio, I knew that I wanted a space where we could receive our products as well on site, where it wasn't going to a true receiver. I wanted my clients to be able to come here and look at the pieces when they were in the back. I wanted people to have the option to come pick them up here. And we wanted to be able to open everything that came in. We did not want it to go to a receiver. So here, we've got staging areas in the back where we have, all our clients' projects that we're working on. Everybody, has a little staging pod where their items will come in. We check it out. We make sure that it's arrived in good condition. And then we store it for them till whenever they're ready. That's another beauty of working with us.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
Storage is great.
And looking at just real estate, especially, again, we're in 30024, which is a very popular zip code in the state of Georgia. Like 90210. So yeah, it's like 90210, but not really. But we,
it's not really.
Houses go very quick here. And it's important to have a team. I think, honestly, not just one, but we have a team of agents working for our clients, trying to make sure that we are out there quickly whenever a house lists that they want to see. We try to keep our ear to the pavement looking for properties that have not yet listed, so we can be the first in there, or maybe even, try to, if it's a property that our clients like, make a deal before it goes on the market, because it is super competitive. looking forward into the spring selling season and into the summer season when we see a large majority of our sales for the year. It's going to be competitive this year. I don't know if interest rates are going to come down any, so I'm sorry. I think that you're just going to have to
Bite the bullet.
And the old adage is that you marry the house and you date the rate. I think that's going to be really important.
I think I found one for real though. Legit. I just got my tax things back.
Oh, yay. But I think that people are going to have to, stomach the marry the house, date the rate theory for a little bit longer. I know people were kind of holding their breath, wondering if the Fed was going to cut our rates this year, and I don't feel super amazing about that happening, but fingers crossed they do.
Everything's like...
But at the end of the day, the beauty of it is if you get into the property that you love, even if it is at a higher interest rate than you wanted to, when those do come down, you can refinance.
Yep.
And we work with some really amazing lenders who I'm going to have on episode 3 or 4, whenever, because I want people to know all their different options for lending. But you can refinance and get some reprieve from a higher interest rate in the future. Yeah. But don't let that, I believe this with all my heart, don't let that stop you from, getting out of a renting situation and get you into a home where you can start. There's tax benefits with owning your own home, and there's, you're building wealth whenever you own your own home. I know.
Yeah, I have to show you one.
Okay. I'm pretty excited.
Right?
So I'm thinking of things to talk about in our next episode, because I know there are a lot of questions that people have about real estate, and I know there's a lot of questions people have about furniture, and I know there's a lot of questions people have about design, and I have a lot of answers. So next episode, I think we might talk with, actually, I want to bring in some of my favorite reps from my furniture manufacturers, because I work with some really amazing guys, and just talk about some of the products we offer and what's really good for families and what works here and what works there. But then I'm going to bring in a couple of our lenders. The money part of purchasing a house is always, honestly, the most important part. So just making sure that people know all their different options, because the options for getting a loan now are amazing. We have so many different options. And if there's any questions that people like, we'd always love to know. We have an Instagram account that you can DM us on, or our Help Shop Vanhorn email. But yeah, I think that would be good, right? Learning about the loan process, which is something you didn't know. You had no idea about how we had to get our ducks in the row. And then
if you're a small business owner like I am, like having different taxes,
I should get my accountant to come on too. I think that would be good too.
Because that was a huge thing.
Yeah.
That's where it's just like, how do you do your taxes as a small business owner? We're kind of talking about that before too.
Yeah, I think that would be good too.
Curve.
Right, that would be good too. And then I want to go through a couple of houses that we've been working on, because I want people to be able to see the before and afters. I think that's really, really big. Yeah. Like going through a house with us, with a client, maybe you, maybe somebody else, but just walking through the house, and me and one of the girls there saying, okay, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this. Okay, we've got area in the living room here. We're going to want a sectional, max, blah, blah, blah. I think that would be good too, walking through a property.
Fun too, to see like a image where it needs to have a little bit of like a furniture facelift, and you say like what you would do with specific budgets, like what you would do to facelift each space too.
Oh yeah.
Like from $500 to $5,000, like what you would do.
Right.
Whatever the budget is.
And I'll just FYI, budget, like we always have to talk about budget. It's an amazing thing. It's not a bad thing. Everybody has a budget. I don't care if it's 500 or 5 million, everybody has a budget. Just tell us what it is, and then we can go from there. That really helps us. But I like to give 3 different options, right? I always like to, do this, and this, or this, and this. That's important, because I think if you want to save in one area, you can splurge in another area. Yeah. So that's good too. So that's what we're going to do for next time, over the next 2 or 3 or 4, however many of these we do.
What was it? Like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.